Welcome to CrashRacer. Today we're playing Wreckfest and we're looking at the latest weekly challenge, which is this snow race. We are at the Fire Rock Raceway for this one and we're racing in the Speedbird using these tuning settings. So this is a 3-lap race then with all 24 cars and all the usual rules apply. You need to try and get your car to the front, or as near to the front as you can, as fast as you can, in order to increase that bonus multiplier up to a possible maximum of 5 times. First things first then, the leaderboards on PS4 still aren't working. I think it's been 3 weeks now, so I can't be sure actually how good this score here that I got is. I think it's quite reasonable, but this is a real tricky challenge, so I'm not really sure. As with all these challenges that have been on the snow, the biggest challenge is trying to keep traction when you're going around the corners, and I did find this a really tricky challenge. Again, there's been quite a bit of luck involved, but I have got a few tips and strategies for this one towards the end of the video that I use, which seem to at least help a little bit. And you'll probably have already spotted a few already in this attempt that I'm showing now. There's no bonus for how fast your lap times are in this one, so getting in and maintaining a good position in this challenge is really key. And if you need to waste a little bit of time trying to keep AI behind you, then it is worth doing, obviously, as long as you don't waste too much time and lose pace with some of the other leaders, or let the rest of the pack catch up. So I'd had a pretty good start on this one and was up towards the front and managed to maintain second, third, fourth throughout this race really, which got me quite a good score. The main pack never quite caught up with this, which was good. I was up in second place at this point. Drifted a little bit wide here, and again that's a perfect example of how little grip there is. Once you start drifting wide and you miss the apex of a corner, then you do struggle to get grip. Again, this car, when it overtook me, almost spun in front, and in the end I just braked to let it come past because I was going to waste too much time. Final lap then of the 3, this one. As you can see, I'm cutting this corner, and this is one of my tips. I'll go through this towards the end of the video. When there's no cars around like now, I think it probably actually doesn't save you any time over going around the corner properly. But when there are cars around, then that can really save you a lot of time, that one. Okay, coming up towards the end here, 4th place was right behind me, so I wanted to try and stay ahead if possible, get as many last points as I could. Again, braked slightly too late for that one, missed the apex of the corner, and that let 4th place come right up behind me. Took this corner reasonably safely, and then 4th place was just coming up on the inside, so I just cut across. Actually spun me as I went across the line, but at least it kept my score up. That was my best score, 220,232. So just a couple of tips then for this challenge that I've come up with that I find work well. And from the start, there's 3 lines of cars, and I've tried going up all the possible lines, and with luck any of those lines can work. But the method that I found was by far the most consistent was, once you get past the car on your left here, get to the inside, and as you approach this first left hand corner, just touch the barrier and run round the inside of the other cars. You can usually ride off 3 cars and be up with the front half of the field without losing too much time using this method. Next tip, if you've seen, is for this long left hand corner that follows. It's not easy to get around this corner without losing grip in places, especially on the first lap when it's crowded. So sometimes I'll cut across the corner, as you've seen. There's no penalty and you can make up quite a few places as you've just seen this way. And then the final tip I've got is as we run down towards the right hand hairpin coming up here, but it applies to all the corners actually, and that is where it's possible, try and hit the inside of AI cars to get around corners quicker. So on this one you can aim just for the left of this marshal here and then handbrake to hit off the inside of the AI, and you'll get around the corner much quicker. Obviously the only downside to that method is you then have some very angry AI after revenge, but I think it's worth it, and it's probably, I think, a necessity with this challenge if you want to get a reasonable score. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the video. Good luck for your weekly challenge attempts, and see you soon.